What up, Eagle Talk fam?
What's up, guys? 101, we are here.
Yes, we are here for episode number 101. And you know what? I really like this topic because I think that it is a limiting belief that some people have on why they should not be an entrepreneur.
I really like this topic because most of this episode, we're talking to me.
Listen, I would agree. So if you don't know the topic, today we are talking about how to succeed in business if you are an introvert. Mm-hmm. Okay, I think that we first need to define what an introvert is versus an extrovert. And I think they're ambiverts and introverted, extroverts and all that. But we're just going to give you the basic definition. So the definition of an introvert, according to dictionary.com, is a person who prefers calm environments, limits social engagement, and embraces a greater than average preference for solitude. Corey's like, me. Okay, as opposed to an extrovert, which is what, babe?
Extrovert, they actually call it the term extroversion, describes an aspect of a personality that is often characterized by expressive and outgoing patterns of behavior. People who are extroverts tend to be very talkative, sociable, active, and warm. An extrovert is someone who feels energized by the external world and social interaction.
Yes, and I think that that probably describes how you and I are different to a T, mm-hmm. because typically in most situations you get energy from solitude, mm-hmm. and I get energy from social interactions, right? And what that looks like y'all, let me show y'all how this play out in a moment, okay? So in the moment, let's just say we go to a party.
Right.
And we arrive at the party. The party starts at 8:00. We get there at 8:30. It's kind of going slow. As soon as all the homies get there at 10:15, Corey go tap me on my shoulder and be like,
let's roll.
Yeah. And I'm like, no. It just got good.
That's true.
There have probably, I'm better now, and I think we're better now, balancing off each other.
Hundreds of times.
But there have been times where Corey has made us peace out, and I legit cried. I had a tear rolling down my eye.
I could think of the last one.
What?
The Chicago Bears party.
Oh my goodness. Yes. So the Chicago, we live in Texas, in the North Dallas area, and there was a Bears takeover weekend.
My boy Lucas threw it. Yeah. Went down too.
Threw an amazing party, and we got there early, and y'all, we don't party. We go to lunch and dinner. Clubbing has never been our thing. But when I tell you this party took you back to the 90s, and we were having so much fun, and just when it got thick, I'm looking at people that I knew from high school. I'm like, oh, I'm having the best time of my life. And Corey,
if y'all know what juking is, juking was happening in the day.
Juking. Oh, it was just so much fun. And the first time he told me, let's go, I was like, no, please don't make me go right now. I was like, please don't make me go right now. So he gave me about, how many more minutes you think?
About 20.
About 6.
No. It's about 20 because I got a video of you and Monica just dancing y'all little hearts out.
Yes, and as soon, and when we were walking out the door, I see 3 more people that I haven't seen in 20 years, and Corey gave 0. Mm. Yeah, so we left.
That type of stuff don't matter to me.
Yes, but I do think that that there are misconceptions on how being an introvert or an extrovert can show up in business. Mm-hmm. But particularly today, we're talking to people who are introverts, because a lot of times when you are an entrepreneur, the difference is that if you just work a job, sometimes you can just be in a cubicle, just do your work, spoken to, and that's it, that's all. But I do think that there is a level, I don't care what kind of business you have, there is a level where you're going to have some people skills, and you're going to have to be front facing and interacting with folks. And somebody out there may be thinking like, yep, that's exactly why I cannot be an entrepreneur, because I am an introvert.
Yeah.
And that's your personality. So can you share about your experience a little bit?
Yeah, my experience, even today's day, is building a business and building a brand, but kind of staying out the way. And that's hard.
Yeah.
Right. So one of the things that I think I do, and I do somewhat well, is I'm able to post but not be seen.
Yeah.
Or to do video and not be in the video. That's just not my personality. Like, one of your things is you can literally walk out the door, get in the car, put your phone on the cradle,
yeah,
and talk to your people about
X,
what's
Y,
going
Z.
on, you know, like your day as you're going to your destination. That's not a strength of mine.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I can talk about a process or talk about a deal or, you know, post a video, and I don't necessarily have to be in the video.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I can describe.
And something else that you said that I think is huge for even someone who is introverted or extroverted is you have to play to your strengths, right? And then based on your strengths, then you can find a who to do the things that you are not necessarily strong at. And we have an episode, we'll link it here, to where we talked about why you need to have great who's. But this is something that I would say to anybody, is that I have gotten this. So I'm the reverse, right? And the reverse is, I am probably the most extrovert most people will meet. You know, like I really, now it's weird because when I was grieving my mom, I did find myself getting energy from isolation because I just needed time to myself. But 9 times out of 10, like I get energy from people. Like I want to be in a group. I want to, like, I'm waving and smiling at everybody that I see. I don't know many strangers. And I actually thought that was a detriment in business, because you were my at-home example of what it looked like to be a successful entrepreneur. And I almost thought, for lack of better words, that I wasn't serious enough. Or like, I think when you're extroverted, sometimes you kind of tend to wear your heart on your sleeve. And I thought that maybe, actually, that's not that I wasn't serious enough, but that my skin wasn't thick enough to handle the ups and downs in business, because I was so people pleasing.
Yeah.
And I've learned that's not necessarily true. My strength is connecting, but I had to build up that muscle for having thick skin in business and becoming a business person.
I think you definitely need to play your strength.
Yeah.
And I think you definitely need to understand who you are, what you want that to look like, and don't overthink it.
Yeah. Because
a lot of times, almost like social media or introvert posting, they will overthink their post 50 times to which it's like, man, forget it, I'm not even going.
Oh, because that's us.
Yeah.
1,000,000%.
No,
that's
for
us.
real.
Where I'm like, I'm like having brushed my teeth, still got to roll in my hair live, and you like, dog, let me go ahead and do this, and this before I can do it. Yeah.
So that's the point that I'm making. So you kind of got to just like know your strength and then understand what you're doing, but just don't overthink it.
Don't overthink it. So what I hear you saying, and it can go back 2 ways, right? Is sometimes you just got to do it, but you have to be aware of where you function best. And I'm going to talk about something that I noticed between me and you, and you have said it too. Like even in sessions where we are working with our team and things like that, like I think I am more of a teams person, managing multiple people. And you said that you feel like you thrive more in one-on-one settings.
100%. One of the reasons for me is because I try to focus on the conversation.
Yeah.
And if I'm talking to 5 people, and person 1 and 2, we're here, but person 3 asks a question that's weird or really doesn't matter.
You like what?
Yeah. Right. But it throws the other 4 people off.
Yeah.
So now I've lost what I'm giving them or pouring into them because they focus on the dumb question.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're frustrated.
Frustrated is not really the word. It's just kind of like, dude, like, where did that even come from?
Yeah.
Because we're talking about this.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just better for me to just engage with a person one-on-one as opposed to try to spread myself thin and answer stuff that don't have nothing to do with the subject.
So as we grow businesses, one thing that Corey and I have determined is that, depending on the situation, he will be best working with a direct report. And then that direct report, will be your who to manage the team situation. Mm-hmm. So again, it's playing to your strengths because you are a very strong leader. It's just that you lead a little differently. And part of it is just the way you're wired.
Yeah. Look, I watched you do that challenge. I think you had 30 people on the Zoom.
Yeah.
You in the office, I'm in the media room, but I can hear everything you're saying. But the whole time I'm thinking, like, how in the world is she engaging with so many people? Because they had to be asking you multiple questions in the chat, verbally, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But you continue to control the room.
Yeah.
And the conversation.
Yeah.
I would never be able to do that. I don't think, at least.
Yeah.
But so I guess what I'm saying is some people have that gift and some people just know what they're good at themselves.
And you know what? I love that you said that because for that instance, like Corey and I talked about it. So for that instance, and this is what I think we end up doing, whether it be looking at your spouse you're in business with or social media or whatever, we see a way that somebody is doing it. And if we don't like to do it, if that way doesn't work for us, then sometimes we think that it's not, the whole business isn't for us, mm-hmm, right? Mm-hmm. So another great example, like when you do a one-on-one consult, for the most part, you're like, man, I loved it. Like you're so excited about how you consult with that person, where you're gonna take them. You'll go one-on-one. But me, a former classroom teacher, like I could teach a classroom, but tutoring was never my jam.
Right. Great example. Yeah.
Because I would rather watch paint that dry than just work with one kid on one thing. Like mm-hmm. I would much prefer be in a group. And it's not that, but does that mean that I wasn't a good teacher? No, it just meant that my strength looked differently. And as entrepreneurs, I think that it should be like the way God made you and the way you are wired. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's definitely, we definitely need to play up and understand our strengths and how to maximize them in whatever business you have.
Yeah. I think that's a great example because I could definitely never see you tutoring one kid.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. No. I would.
Yeah.
Not for me.
So back to the introversion conversation. I'm trying to think of something that brought me out of my comfort zone there. And I would probably say this.
Yeah.
Right. Just talking more to people and audiences, which is definitely not my jam.
Yeah.
But if you want to kind of work on that or hone your skills in that area, I think you have to have more and more conversation.
You have to have more and more conversation. And I think, again, for both introvert, like you have to be willing to put yourself out there, mm-hmm. right? And for an introvert, I think willing to put yourself out there to say, this may not be exactly comfortable for me because I prefer being a little more secluded, but it's for the betterment, right? And then on the flip side, I still think extroverts put themselves out there. I think sometimes people who are introverted think, oh, well, you're naturally like that. But even for myself, I've had to have conversations to say, because I want to be such a people pleaser and I don't want to disappoint anybody. So sometimes we get in our heads, mm-hmm. right? And not want to put ourselves out there, but the actual application of it. So this is one thing that I would say, and that I want to point out is because I was actually a part of a mastermind with Jennifer Allwood, and looking at Jennifer Allwood's social media, listening to her book, listening to her podcast, because all of those things, like now when I'm removed from them, I do see that those are singular activities, mm-hmm. but I just assumed she was extroverted, right? But then when I was in her mastermind, she shared like, no, I'm really, really introverted. And like, even like these live events, they're really, definitely not the most comfortable thing for me. I do them for the business. But she shared that, when she is in high people settings, she has to reset, quote unquote, and give herself some time to herself. So how does that look for you?
Great question. I think it looks, so I'm very particular about one-on-one time with myself.
Yeah. Non-negotiable.
Yeah. Like, and I mean, that's gym, that's sauna, that's this is a lot of things that I have no problem doing alone.
I'll be like, Corey, I'm delivering a baby tomorrow, and
that's not true.
Jesus gonna be at the house at 4. Can you open the door? He like, 4. I got a 4 o'clock. And the 4 o'clock be like, I'm going to dinner with myself.
So I definitely focus on that, and I plan for that every single day. And I think that makes me better for the world. It helps me show up better in a lot of different situations. But to answer your question, I'm getting out of it. And what I'm doing is I'm doing more lunches. I'm doing more dinners. I'm kind of forcing myself to get in front of people.
To engage more.
Yeah. Right. Yesterday, and I got one today at 6:00, right?
Yeah. But the difference is you're not doing a dinner with 7 people. You're doing a one-on-one dinner. Yeah. So that like you're not a happy hour type dude.
No.
But you are definitely hey, this one person want to go smoke a cigar, have a conversation, chop it up. I'll do that.
Yeah. And that's being put on my calendar more and more.
Yeah.
And it's making me more sociable.
Yeah.
Because I ain't gotta talk to nobody. my buyer, my seller. I'm good, right? But I'm doing better.
You're doing better. You're doing better. You're doing better.
Yeah. So I hope that serve somebody else.
No. And on the flip side, I mean, I'm gonna say for my extrovert self, like I have been doing the opposite in terms of like forcing myself to shut down and go inward a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So forcing myself off social media, forcing myself to, limit some social interaction so that I'm not so go that I'm not actually checking in with me. Yeah. So y'all, so I just want to give a quick resource that I think it really isn't an introverted extroverted test, but it's just to help understand your personality, is the DISC assessment, DISC. And we will go ahead and link a resource here where you can take the free assessment. But that was huge for us. It's almost like the 5 love languages. When we obviously we knew that Corey was an introvert, I was an extrovert, and opposites attract, but that definitely has caused some critical conversations in our relationship, like when he pulling me from a party or when I'm forcing him to go somewhere where we got somewhere to go on Friday night. I swear for God in Eagle Talk, if you make me leave early.
No, I'm looking forward to this.
Okay, because I'm a Uber home by myself.
That's gonna be a good time.
Okay, because I'm about to say dude. Okay, sometimes you just gotta get literally Beyonce will be walking in the door, Corey be like, hey, the car I got there. I'm like, what? He got the valet ticket. I'm like, what? But the DISC assessment is one of those things that not only helped us to understand each other a little better, but just who we're dealing with in business and how to show up in business.
Yeah. So for all you introverts out there, just do a little bit of getting out your own way.
Yeah.
Do a little bit more talking, be a little bit more personable when you're out in the street. And then you naturally just start coming out of your cocoon a little bit. But
then go fill your gas tank. You don't do too much where you burn out. But after you get out there and you engage with the people, block some time for yourself to just kind of replenish, so that you are not pouring from an empty well, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, you got it. All right, guys. Well, this is episode 101.
101.
We are in 2023, about the Q2. Y'all stay focused, hit those goals, write them down, and we'll be back.
We'll be back. And you know what we need you to do? Go ahead and give the homies a
5-star review.
Okay, but I'm gonna just say something. Like, I'm just put it out there. Our reviews are dry. Like, they need to give us some more reviews. Friends, we love that you're here. And in the podcasting world, reviews are everything. It helps get the Eagle Talk message out to other people. So we would just appreciate it if y'all would do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, y'all.
See y'all next time.